Hello and welcome back to Transport Fever 2, the UK modded series. Thank you very much for joining me in today's video. And in the last video, which was now 2 weeks ago, I do apologise, I've not had a chance to record videos last week. In the last video, 2 weeks ago, I was building and completed building this new, I say new freight yard, however, or goods yard. However, it was repurposed from old track, which actually, at the moment, you can see that the goods yard is curving towards you. So, if you look at it coming towards you, it would continue off to the left-hand side. Whereas previously, the track would go over to the right-hand side and actually peel into the West Mersey passenger station. All of that had to change, of course, when I needed to improve the speeds for the approach and increase the number of platforms to 6 and also lengthen the platforms, which resulted in me having to change the entire approach all the way from where the coal train currently is, all the way from there to the station had to change. However, there were some tracks that were left, so some residual tracks, which I have repurposed and appropriated for a goods yard. So this is where we got to. In today's video, I'm going to get trains running to this goods yard, which should work. It should be fairly easy. There are a couple of bits that I'm not particularly keen about on the yard, which I shall talk about after the intro. And also, I want to have a look at Lichfield, because I did say I was going to try and put a goods yard there. But I've also run into another problem with Lichfield, and I will explain that after the trains are running here. Aside from that, today's video is not going to have all too much more. There is an idea that I do wish to possibly mention, but I may keep that a secret for a few videos, because I think it could go really rather well. So make sure you stay tuned. Let's get started. And let's get freight trains, running into West Mersey. Okay, first thing that I need to do is I need to ensure that this is properly connected, which it is. Somebody mentioned that in terms of health and safety, obviously there would not be housing, would just be right next to some of these this area. Now the reason that I am trying to keep them away is because of what you just see there, where it builds it underneath. So the first thing I'm going to do is just try to fix that. I think it is a Mad Hatter tool, so if I can find the hat, there it is. Eraser, cohort, billboard, sign writer. What is it? There it is. Posts. So I'm just going to put them in along here, and the reason for it is not that I mind having, for example, a house right here. The building's on the opposite side, perfectly all right. It is just that the way they tend to build things can cause issues, so I'd rather close this area off. I would like to put a fence here, but I have a feeling that the fence just will not work quite as well. So I'm just going to put these. In fact, I suppose I can just put a couple of trees in this area to help block. And of course, build with collision is extremely important on this particular setup, because it really helps. See, I can literally just put in fact here I should probably put bollards like so, And then around this corner. So maybe like this. And that should theoretically, I say theoretically because you just never know, but that should theoretically stop anything from building along in this area. Apparently there's a tree somewhere in there. Okay, so that clears that bit up. I'll do a little bit more detailing with this at a later time. I think that sort of looks okay. So we've got that. That is fine. What I now need to check is where are these going? So fuel is actually all in this area. So from here, people should just directly be able to get fuel. In theory, if that works, this whole area should be able to get fuel. I still haven't worked out the mail. I know how it works. I just have not figured out how to get it going in the way I want it to. So that's complete. The next thing that I wish to do is remove traffic lights from here. How do I do that? Not like that, that is for sure. It is from this bit. Right, no traffic lights required there nor there. Why are the traffic lights here though? Why can I not get rid of those? Yes, these are also unnecessary traffic lights. How do I get rid of these? For the person who mentioned that I needed to lock these, I know. I did it off camera, as you can see. Straight off camera when I was just reviewing my video, I was like, oh, I have not locked them, and apparently I have not locked... Hang on a tick. Hang on a tick. I have not locked that. But look at this. What is this road? Okay, well, slight issue, but I'm going to get rid of that road. There we go. I assume you still connect to things. Yes. Okay, that was a little odd. That is now sorted. Also, to the person who said, yes, waypoints are in Transport Fever 2, I know. I have been using them for many years, but the way the waypoints work in Transport Fever 2 is not the way I want it to, is not realistic in terms of how I would want it to work in order for me to be able to switch through rails. So, to give an example and really explain this, because I can see how this would be confusing. Imagine this is a station right here. A train pulls in on platform 1 here. I want other trains that could pull in on platform 1 to then pull in on platform 2 and 3. That's easy enough. We can do that in Transport Fever 2 with the alternate platforms. Train pulls into platform 1. Freight line goes through platform. A freight train is supposed to go through platform 2. Another passenger train comes along, sees platform 1 full, fills in platform 2. That's fine. Freight train comes along, sees platform 2 is occupied, and because it is not stopping at the station, it will wait at the signal. What I would want it to do is have waypoints that allow it to say, if you cannot go through platform 2, a waypoint at the end, let's say, if you cannot get to this waypoint, go this way. Take platform 3, go via platform 3, and then continue on your way. That is what I mean by I cannot have the waypoints working properly. Unfortunately, I see no way of getting Transport Fever 2 to do this. So there we are. Now, back to the building. I am not particularly keen on this set of points. Now I know that this shouldn't be a problem. The train will be able to potter in and out of this very easily. But in terms of how this looks, I would rather that perhaps I had another line that it just ran along and then peeled in. Potentially connecting up to one of these three, I suppose. Which one would I want it to potentially connect up to? Which one looks empty-ish? Okay, so the second one. Potentially connecting into the second one, running along... but then we run into this problem. So, yes, you see the dilemma. I would rather it ran along here and then crossed over, as opposed to this really not very aesthetically pleasing crossover. But that is something I shall have to sort out at another time. I've also been thinking about this, how I want this to run with this with this goods line. My thinking is that I use, so instead of me doing what I've done here, I leave West Mersey as being connected to the one that handles Ely, Macclesfield, Carnforth and Bracknell. So I leave it as it will also handle West Mersey, but I'm not entirely certain. So for now, I'm just going to have it going back and forth, one train. But I might integrate it into this line and then have another line that does Barnstable, West Bromwich, Attleborough, and potentially can also handle Bentham. So that is the option that I have, or I can make the West Mersey line handle all of those. And then I need to figure out the whole Lichfield bit, which I will explain after I get the train running. So I'm just going to get a train up and running on this particular route. So what kind of train do I want? Probably one similar to, in fact, every time I see something like this, I think this is really quite nice for a photograph. It looks busy. The station or the marshalling yard looks busy. And there's another train exiting? No, that's just me getting confused by my own placement of things. Right, where was this train supposed to be? So it goes out here. How am I supposed to... Okay, how am I supposed to get a train from one of these to go out there? Potentially, this is where I now need to start looking at connecting. Can I do anything that goes in and across? No, maybe I should have something that goes in and across there. Let me see if I can connect up some 10 mile per hour track. Now that I've fixed all of this. Apparently not. Why does that... Why does it not have... Oh, because of this bit. Okay. Right. So I could... No, I cannot. That is where my issues arise. Yep, all the issues are just based on the fact that it collides with one track. In reality, it collides with one track and one track only, and it is that one. Can I do anything with this track? What speed is this track supposed to be at? 25? 25. The fact that I'm doing this and I know I'm going to end up messing something up, this is Never mind. I think that might have just worked. Well, that worked. And in fact, I can do that straight into the middle and then have that split out either way should I need to. Okay, well, there we are. I've managed something here. 10 miles per hour and then ten and 10. Okay, I've done something and it appears to work. There we go. Let's do, so these are supposed to be 25. 25, 25 and 25. 10 both sides. And 10 for this side. There we go. I think that seems reasonable. There we are. Starting to add some signage. So now I should be able to get, yes, from here, from this one specifically, I should be able to put a train in. But in order for me to put a train in, I really need to have a look at the trains I have. So I'll go ahead and pin that. And from this train depot, buy. What am I buying? GWR 260. Oh, I forgot to add some trains in. GWR 262. It's a small prairie. Let's go for that one. One of those, please. Oh no, wait. I've got these. This is different, right? 262 tender. That's these. I think for this run, we can have Armstrong goods. Pretty slow, I guess. I can even go for these. Even slower. 40. Oh, actually, they go 45 miles per hour. I'll take one of these, please. Thank you. Cargo. What kind of stuff do we want? So some goods wagons that can take anything that could take most things. So I think this goods wagon, 5 of those, coupled with some plank wagons like this, which can take coal, which is what I'm after. A couple of those. How long is this train? 179 yards. Do that. And if I get rid of GWR from this, I might find a few that look a little better. Like some of these. Yes, I guess I could pop a few of these in. A couple of Midland Railway ones. Bump that along, and oil. Yes, we do need some oil ones. Let's go for 1, 2, 3, 4. for? I say we need oil, but thinking about it, I'm not really transporting oil or fuel, because that is all being transported. Yes, maybe not, but this should be enough to get me a good amount of should be enough to get me a good amount of coal going over. And to cope with all of that, I need to buy cargo. Where are the coal merchant lorries? There they are. 10 of those. And on to West Mersey Coal you go. Please be the right way. Okay, good. You are. Right. Where'd the train go? Hello? Oh, you're waiting. So, one thing that I have found is that apparently there is an alternative for these freight yards, for these marshalling yards. Hello. So, all the trains are about to arrive. So, all the trains are about to arrive. So, this can be a screenshot opportunity. So, as I said, I found an alternative to the marshalling yard. I said I've found an alternative. Sociopath actually sent me the alternative, showed it to me on his Transport Fever 2 save, and I think I might look at using that. So I might end up changing a few of the marshalling yards out to actually use that instead. This is all looking very good. There we go. Trains everywhere. Trains everywhere. I think the advantage of those is that, just like this one, we can have no platforms, and you can still transfer goods, and no buildings. However, it has fake platforms underground, which allows you to, of course, then store all the cargo, as opposed to the cargo disappearing as I currently have. That being said, the disadvantage is, unlike this mod that I currently have, allows me to actually curve the track. It allows me to fine-tune the track. It allows me to have inclination on the track, and quite a few various other bits and bobs. So I suppose swings and roundabouts, I'll have to have a look. If I do change the mod out, it will probably only be in the marshalling yard that I change it out, whereas the goods yards can remain as they are. I think everything has calmed down. So let's go ahead and increase the speed and just see if there is anything waiting for this. Where is it supposed to be? Not here. West Mersey Goods, nothing. So what I'm also going to do is manage the line. I'm going to make it so that it has to wait. I'll say it has to wait here for 5 minutes. So it'll just sit there. And similarly, over here it has to wait. But I'm also going to make it so that nothing... There needs to be a way to stop loading of all goods. There it is. There is a way to do it. I just did not know it. Sometimes it does help to just click around. There we are. So that can stay there whilst this is all going on. Right, over to Lichfield, and I'm about to show you the problem. So, Lichfield, we have the gasworks here. I have no idea where to put the... I might move the gasworks to the opposite side. I have absolutely no idea where I can place the tower. So there is that. But the issue I have, the bigger issue I have with Lichfield, is the fact that there is no direct connection for me to get to that marshalling yard. So as you can see, the only way for me to get to the marshalling yard would be to come along here, stop somewhere here and turn around and then go to the marshalling yard, which actually is a fairly interesting problem to have. So I have to think about where and how I'm going to do this. I've got two options. Either I can send the railway this way through this station, which I will eventually end up closing. Through this station, it would have to go all the way here and then back up this hill, which does not seem like a great proposition. Plus it has to go through the station. Or alternatively, I can have it come along here. I can add a little I don't know, a little track just here, just like that, get it to stop and then turn it back and across. That is my other option. Now in order to do that, what I will have to do, and this is where the marshalling yard, this building, track builder, comes in handy. So if I go to the cargo one, this one here, what I can do is I can say, right, it needs to be a 250 meter one. I need it to be like that there. It needs to perhaps come up to just there. I then need it to what I can do is I can make a little track and just connect it to that, and then I need to figure out how exactly it is going to curve, and then I need to figure out from there, including the curve, how do I get it to go across. Oh dear, this is what I mean by the waypoint problem, you see. Now look at this traffic. Even though there is clearly a way through, right here there is a way through, 2 platforms, they could just work their way through, but it won't do it. So yes, that is my next option. Where are you going exactly? You're going to Macclesfield. You're also going to Macclesfield. Why are you both going to Macclesfield? Something has gone awry. So yes, I would have to do that and then figure out how to do a massive crossing too, which could be interesting. Now, if I am able to get it to cross all the way onto this individual track, as I said, one of the things that I want to try and do. What are you waiting for now? Wait, what are you waiting for? Oh, you are just waiting for that one, and then this one's waiting to go back to... I mean, this is all getting very busy. Very, very busy. Who's moving now? You are now moving. Why are you not moving? Who is in your spot? Well, why are you in there? Why are you in the express train spot? Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. I think I may have bitten off far more than I can chew here when it comes to railway planning. Right, yes. Back to the issue at hand with Lichfield. So, I could try and do that, but you'll note that if I do just place a tiny bit of track just here, get rid of that house. What on earth? Alright, I'm not even going to question how that happened. There we go. Now try and place the building. So let's say this was the building. I'll just place a single track. Doesn't matter at the moment. I'll try to configure this. So I need it to bend in that direction. And there you go. You'll start to see the issue. Now I think I could do this to get it to bend after some time. Come on. Maybe something along these lines, but you see, clearly you see the issue. Now I could bring this down and say, well, this has to run, this can only run to 200 meters, let's say. I think that might be the best I can do. For example, there, and then have the inclination right. How do I need this? I don't know what half of this thing is doing. Ramp start, ramp end. Height difference. I know I've done this before. Maybe I need to open this up a little further so that I can see. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. So why did it do that? That is certainly not 200 meters. Just going to point that out. That's about right on the height. And that is about right on the curve. So it would be something, for example, like that. Yeah, not perfect, but as close as I can perhaps make it. Probably give it a little bit more of a curve. Like that. Okay. And then somehow from that, I have to make it somehow get across here. And so you see where the whole issue arises. My other option is to try and get it to go all the way across and actually have the turning sort of here. So I get it to go all the way across here and say, well, here we've got an odd 200 meters or so, that if I can get this to maybe do another one all the way across, have the station here, and then get it to just continue and connect up to this line, maybe, just maybe, that would be the other option. So I'm trying to work that out. Any suggestions would be very much appreciated. In the meantime, let's go over to Litchfield and actually see where we want the station. So the gasworks are here. I think the station could potentially be just across the road, or I can move the gasworks over to this side, for example, just there, and have the station just about here, which also seems pretty reasonable. Either way, this bit is going to have to go. So I'll get rid of this farm. So that is gone. I also need to consider this going over to New Romney, where I think I probably should also have a freight station, and that could be the end of the line. That could be a terminus on that side, although we still have Shepton Mallet, the mess to worry about, but I have plans for Shepton Mallet. And looking at this, we have single track in a lot of places, but very few trains. So as you can see, there are not that many trains running. But there is enough to perhaps block out the single track. So what I'm going to do is I am going to start by moving the gasworks, which is actually an industry. Well done, brain. Gasworks. I'm going to move it right here. I think that will do. Right there. Looks messy? Sure. Actually is extremely messy. Okay, how do I fix this? How do I fix this? Get rid of that to start with, so it's connected through that. I guess... Actually, it isn't terrible, because if I then go ahead and smooth this out... Why does it make that so big? I have no idea. If I try and smooth this out, that isn't terrible. It's just this bit here, where I could potentially just put a fence and say, warning, cliff. I can also make an attempt to... Okay, let's make an attempt here to move this. So, construction, that one. I would like it to... Let's see what kind of rotation I can put on it. A slight rotation, maybe like that. And then move it slightly over. See what that gives me. That is a little better. That is definitely a little better. Then all I need to do is just make sure that this street that decided it does not wish to street anymore is reconnected. There we are. Okay, good. I think that might have to do, unless I push it forward a little. Not sure. Naturally, we put the gasometer next to it. Not the massive one, tiny one, please. This one will do. And I can dump that right there. I can then put a little I put a little depot here, not a depot, sorry, a cargo station. Standard station or one of these fancier ones? Could do this one. City old, wide platforms, 3 platforms, high cargo capacity, 1950, none of that, station surface, just some city, no, that's country, city old, there we are. And I can tuck that in just here. I'll tuck that in just there. Maybe just push this just a bit further back. Just a little. So now if this is a road, if this is indeed becomes a main road, which I think it will, you just go straight past the gasometer. I think that seems reasonable. I might actually turn that into a proper main road, which it probably should be. Then we'll go ahead and put continue the street. So we'll do this. Run that along here. Like that. Railway can be... So we can peel off like so and have the stops just here. So cargo, that 200 and oh dear. No wait, stop. Oh, that is 250. Really? Is that how big I've been making all of these? It is. Okay. Lichfield might not be able to cope with such a large station. I know this. Unless I do some other bits and bobs to this. So, for example, shove everything along. Can I fit a 200-meter station in? No. 200 also will not work. Right. How am I going to do this then? Okay. Change of plan. This thing, despite the fact that it was nice, is not going to be there. Going to somehow manage to tuck this in. Like so. Let's put... many platforms. Again, 3 will do. Just have that properly connected. Like so. How are we looking? Okay. Now I could have that curve in a little. So let's go ahead and do that. Well, I mean, sure, if you want to connect it like that, it's a bit much. I think that is the best option. And since we probably want this to continue at ground level, we most likely need to do something like this. So maybe about there. How's that looking? A little high, still a little high. I'll drop it just a touch more. There we are. 10 mile per hour track as well. Perfect. We could do, we can have bridges and tunnels with this too, which is also really cool. But there is nothing that I can currently use that would require a bridge nor a tunnel, or a tunnel, sorry. Right, now let's have a look at the track. How would the track wish to go? It'd be effectively a straight track like that, that then, so straight and then curves in and across. Okay, good. Let's break that. Let's start figuring this one out. So that has worked really well across there. I could actually do it like this. There we are. Before connecting up to this. And of course we have... So I'll break this bit. So it'd be something along these lines. So I might change the speed limit on this. Yeah, build that anyway. Just to see where... Interesting. That's quite interesting how that has panned out. I think this is a little problematic because we have a bit of a drop. So I'd rather that we do this like so, and then connect that like that. This isn't exactly the straight line that I wanted it to be. Then we go ahead and do asset erase, tiny amounts. There we are. And we just erase just this bit here. There we go. Perfect. Careful, just get rid of that. Perfect. Right. Now, what should I do here? I could very well just get the second bit in like that. Would that be a wise thing to do? Yes, I think so. And then from right here, in too much curvature. There we go. Doesn't give that much room, but it's probably enough. Now, what I can also do here is, if I needed to, I can turn this into a bridge. Or a tunnel, actually. Looking at this, there is potential to have this go underneath. So there we go. That is Litchfield's that bit potentially done. Now what I need to do is put this back in. And this is where problems might occur. And the reason for that is, in order for me to, I might need to do this, but I'm not sure if this is going to work so well. So in order for me to be able to get trains going through this, cargo trains, I'm going to need to increase the platforms. So autosave telling me that I'm coming up to the end of the time for this particular video, but that's okay. It takes a while. It takes a while to do things, obviously. As I was saying, so that is 1. So what I need to do is I need to increase this by 2. So that would be allowing me 1. So one of these will be, think of it as platform, rail, 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 rail. And this would be a platform. Okay, just about. That is not too bad. If this is possible for me to do that, that is not too bad. And this will enable freight to continue down the way. Also, just had a thought. I know I'm doing this. What if I want freight, something that picks up here, drops things off here, and then continues on its way, which would be different from going all the way back. So instead of it going all the way back to pick things up, comes along here, drops what it needs to drop off here, parks along here, turns it around, and then goes and continues on its way to New Romney, which would be different and I think reasonable and probably quite nice to see. And as such, I'm going to do it. So, to end today's video, that is what is going in. Get rid of all of this. Yes, I am aware. There we go. All of that is gone. Which actually means that this all changes. This now becomes something along these lines. There we are. Then what I will have is, whoops. I know these are 10 miles per hour. I'll sort out the speeds for them. Something like this. Not exactly the nicest looking of these. And then we have the potential turnaround point, which literally will be here, and then how far will this go? It'll have to be something like that. So you could have a train just parking up there. Yes, you'd have a train parking up there like that, doing its turnaround and then continuing on its way, for which I will put, of course, that is what these are supposed to be for, I believe. That's the whole point of this. And for that we need no terminal function because it's just, well, that. There we are. Configure, put the right track in. None of that, and I suppose none of that too. There we go. So train comes along there, pushes this here. You can imagine it turning around so that, and then, oh, and then what? Then it really needs to come back onto this track, which could be a problem. Let's fix this little bit up then. Let's think about this. Track. So what we need is potentially this track on this side and that track on that side, but I'm not going to do that. So that connection going there, but this connection going across like that. There we go, with a slip there and a slip there. That is what is required. So a train comes along here, we'll pop in here potentially, or could I just have it do that and then it has to go across? So would this look better if it was something like this? Would that look better? A little. It's a bit wobbly. This is a little better. And then that is not slipped. Then it goes across and then it is slipped to go there. That is a bit messy. I will admit that is a bit messy and is going to require a little bit of rework. Also, did I do this on camera? I cannot remember. I've been going around doing little bits here and there. I think I've done some more in Ely, as you can see. Yes, look. So I've done this off camera, and it is filling in quite nicely. I've just been looking around trying to find areas, like I've connected that up as well. Trying to find areas to start building in, because it really does need building. I think maybe Macclesfield I've done off camera. I know I did this on camera. I know that for certain. Eventually, I have a feeling that at least Bracknell and Carnforth will end up you'll end up with housing all the way down here and housing probably all the way here. And so this will almost be joined. But Ely, obviously, no chance. West Mersey, no real chance. And yeah, this will... Maybe West Brom might start coming out in this direction, but I highly doubt it. The most I see Ely growing is up to there. This is where I see Ely growing up to. That there. West Mersey, I see it growing up to across here, maybe out there, up to the marshalling yard, possibly. Berwick, for some reason, is just staying tiny. This was supposed to be the capital, but clearly I've done something wrong with it. I just could not find location for housing. I should probably turn all of this into housing, I think. I think that is what I might do. I might just spend an episode working on changing all of this area and seeing what exactly happens. But for now, this is where I will end with Lichfield. Doesn't look great. Does not look great. But we do have more freight trains now. And the plan is, because I know obviously I'm going to need to have iron ore doing something. The plan is maybe to make Lichfield do... Let's have a look at an industry that might take... So, for example, what does this take? That's wood, that's rubbish. Don't need that. Although I could possibly make one that did something similar. Steel mill, steel, this, here we go. Probably we'll do one of these to make steel. And I think we can have Lichfield being a steel hub. Yes, I think that is going to be the plan. So I will have iron ore coming in from here. Iron ore potentially... Oh, there's somewhere else where I have iron ore as well, isn't there? There. So I need iron ore from there, iron ore from here, all coming into Lichfield, along with a lot of coal. And coal could potentially come in from here. So I could have a massive freight operation somewhere, maybe pull it out and have some massive freight operation going on somewhere around this side with all the iron and things like that. Have a railway running along here, probably going into a tunnel under this as well, running alongside this, potentially joining onto this line. But then, obviously, how am I going to get it to the iron? So maybe it'd have to be a separate railway running along here, tunnel, and then out this side to try and get it to the iron ore. And then from there, I need to try and get that over to wherever I'm going to be using steel. Maybe to make machines or something. So that is the plan. But before I do that, I need to make sure that this mess is fixed, because this really is a mess. And I'll have to do that in the next video. I might do it off camera, actually. I might fix some of this off camera. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Please remember to click on the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on Transports Fever 2, the UK modded series. Leave a comment in the comments box below, letting me know what you think, any suggestions you might have. If you can do so, please do consider supporting me on Patreon. Link in the description box below, as are links to my social media and Discord server. That is all from me, and I shall see you next time in Transports Fever 2, the UK modded series, where... hopefully with your suggestions, I will know what to do with getting things to Lichfield. And I think I will sort this out off camera. Yes, I think I will sort this out off camera, and we'll continue on from there. So I shall see you next time.